This is going to be an introduction to the distributive property. So if A, B, and C are real numbers, then A times the sum of B and C is equal to AB plus AC. So a lot of math speak there. But basically what it's saying is you're multiplying A times the sum. And if you have unknown quantities within the parentheses, you can't actually do the parentheses first, which is the order of operations. If we're looking at number 1, inside the parentheses, you have x plus 4. X plus 4. Those are not like terms, so you can't combine them. If you were going to try to use the order of operations, you would look in the parentheses first. You would see that you can't do anything. And so then you're kind of stuck with, well, what can I do? So what you can do is take advantage of the distributive property. And this says that you can take the 3 outside the parentheses and distribute it to both terms inside the parentheses. Remember that plus and minus symbols separate terms. So inside the parentheses, you have 2 terms. You have the x and you have the positive 4. Those are the 2 terms. And so distributing means you're going to multiply 3 times each of those terms. So 3 times x is 3x, and then 3 times 4 is 12. So distributing the 3 will give you 3x plus 12. And that's all you can do. So that's it. So we're going to use the distributive property for each of these, and then if we can simplify by adding like terms, we'll do that. So number 2, we will distribute the 6. So 6 times y is 6y, and 6 times negative 2 is negative 12. There's nothing else to do. Those are not like terms, so that's it. Number 3, we have negative 2, and we're distributing that to 4y plus 1. So negative 2 times 4y is negative 8y, and then negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. Those are not like terms, so that's all we can do. Number 4, we have negative 11 that we want to distribute. So negative 11 times 4 is negative 44. And then negative 11 times a negative 3a, those 2 negatives make a positive. 11 times 3 is 33a. Again, not like terms, so that's all we can do. Number 5, the only thing we have outside the parentheses is a negative symbol. This is understood to be a negative 1. So if it helps you to write the 1, do that. And then you're going to distribute the negative 1 to the 2 terms in parentheses. So negative 1 times z is negative z. And then negative 1 times negative 11 is positive 11. So distributing a negative or a negative 1 simply changes the sign of everything in the parentheses. 6 is the same way, so we're distributing a negative or a negative 1. Negative times m is a negative m, and a negative 1 times 5 is a negative 5. No like terms, so that's all we can do. Number 7 and number 8. Let's move these up so they're a little easier to see. So for number 7, this one's a little bit different because it has the 8 on the outside. Now you may be tempted, because it's tempting, you may be tempted to do 8 minus 2 first and get 6. But that would not be appropriate because you always need to take care of multiplying before subtraction. And distributing is multiplying. So you need to distribute before you try to combine anything else on the outside. That 2 is multiplied by what's in parentheses. So you want to undo the parentheses with distribution before you combine it with that 8. Okay, so we'll bring down the 8. I'm distributing a negative 2. So negative 2 times x is a negative 2x. And then a negative 2 times 3 is a negative 6. Now that I've gotten rid of the parentheses by using the distributive property, I can look for like terms. So I have a constant term of 8, and I have another constant term of a negative 6. Notice there's nothing like 2x, negative 2x, so that's by itself. So I can bring down the negative 2x and then combine the constant terms. So 8 minus 6 is 2, so negative 2x plus 2. Those are not like terms, so that's as far as I can take this. Number 8, if you haven't done so yet, why don't you pause the video and try this one? The process is very similar to number 7. So I need to distribute the negative 5. So we'll bring down the 7x. Negative 5 times x is negative 5x. And then negative 5 times negative 2 is positive 10. Again, we're going to look for like terms. You will see that we have 7x and a negative 5x are like. And then the positive 10 is the constant term, and there's nothing like with that. So 7x minus 5x is 2x, and then bring down the plus 10. These are not like terms, so that's it. All right, we've got two more, number 9 and number 10. So notice we have two parentheses now. We need to distribute twice here. So first, we're going to distribute the 4 to the parentheses following the 4. And then next, we'll distribute a negative 1 to the parentheses following the negative 1. So 4 times y is 4y. 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. And so now we're moving to the negative 1. So negative 1 times y is negative y. And negative 1 times 3 is negative 3. So we're now going to look for like terms. So we have 4y and negative y. Those are both like. And then we also have negative 32 and negative 3. Those are like. So 4y minus y is 3y. And negative 32 minus 3 is negative 35. Those are not like terms, so that's as far as we can go. Number 10, we're going to distribute the negative 3 first. So negative 3 times z is negative 3z. And negative 3 times 1 is negative 3. Now we'll distribute the 4. 4 times negative 2z is negative 8z. And 4 times negative 8 is negative 32. We'll look for like terms. So we have a negative 3z and we have a negative 8z. So that will combine to give us negative 11z. And we also have a negative 3 and a negative 32, which is weird because that's exactly the same numbers we had in the previous one. So we'll get negative 35. Those are not like terms, so that will be it.